Listen closely, because this is not just another story told inside a fandom. This is the question that keeps returning, no matter how much time passes. What is the real relationship between Jimin and Jungkook? Why does their bond feel different from anything fans have seen before? And why do so many people believe that what connects them cannot be explained with just one word? From the earliest days of BTS, Jimin and Jungkook were already inseparable. They trained together, lived together, struggled together, and grew up under the same intense spotlight. While other relationships formed and changed, theirs remained constant. Quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. Even before the world knew their names, they already knew each other's fears, habits, and hearts. At first glance, their relationship looks like a strong friendship. Two young men supporting each other in an industry that demands perfection. Jungkook has often talked about how Jimin was there for him when he was young and unsure, when everything felt overwhelming. Jimin has spoken about Jungkook as someone he wants to protect, someone he worries about like family. These words alone already show how deep their connection is. But fans noticed early on that their bond didn't stop there. There is something about the way Jimin and Jungkook move around each other that feels natural, almost instinctive. They don't need to call attention to it, it just exists. A hand placed gently on a back, a glance that lasts longer than necessary, a smile that appears without effort when they find each other in a crowded room. These moments are not loud, but they are powerful. Jimin and Jungkook balance each other in a way that feels rare. Jungkook is bold, energetic, and competitive, someone who pushes forward with strength. Jimin is emotional, observant, and deeply empathetic, someone who understands feelings without words. When Jungkook gets too hard on himself, Jimin softens him. When Jimin doubts his own worth, Jungkook becomes his loudest supporter. They fill the spaces the other leaves open. As the years went by, fans began to see patterns that couldn't be ignored. Jimin always seems to notice Jungkook's emotions before anyone else does. Jungkook always seems to gravitate toward Jimin when he needs comfort or reassurance. In moments of chaos, they find each other. In moments of silence, they stay close. This is where many fans start to feel that the word friendship is not enough. Jimin and Jungkook share a level of emotional safety that goes beyond what people usually show on camera. Jungkook has admitted that he relies on Jimin emotionally. Jimin has admitted that Jungkook is someone he feels safest with. Safety is a powerful thing. It is what people look for in the person they trust with their most vulnerable parts. When Jungkook is criticized, fans notice how Jimin's expression changes instantly. When Jimin is targeted by harsh comments, Jungkook becomes more attentive, more protective. Their moods often mirror each other, as if they are emotionally connected. If one is quiet, the other adjusts. If one is hurting, the other stays closer. Their closeness doesn't feel rehearsed. It doesn't turn on and off depending on the camera. It shows up in small, almost accidental moments. The way Jungkook listens when Jimin speaks, fully focused. The way Jimin reaches out to Jungkook without hesitation, even in public spaces. These are not actions done for show, they are habits formed over time. Many fans believe that Jimin and Jungkook are not only best friends, but also something more. To them, the connection looks like love. Not dramatic, not loud, but steady and deeply rooted. The kind of love that grows quietly, strengthened by years of shared experiences. What makes this belief stronger is the fact that Jimin and Jungkook never seem uncomfortable with how close they are perceived to be. They don't pull away when people notice. They don't create distance when speculation grows. Instead, they continue being exactly who they have always been with each other. And that consistency speaks volumes. In an industry where idols often carefully manage their image, their bond feels refreshingly real. They don't rush to define it for the public, they don't label it. They let it exist as it is. That openness allows fans to interpret their relationship in different ways, and many see it as romantic because it carries the emotional depth of a partnership. Jimin's affection toward Jungkook is often gentle and grounding. It feels intentional, caring, and deeply personal. Jungkook's attention toward Jimin is focused and unwavering, as if Jimin naturally becomes his center. This dynamic has remained unchanged over the years, even as they grew older and more confident. There's also the way they choose each other repeatedly. In interviews, in games, in moments of rest, they gravitate toward one another. When asked who they trust, who they feel comfortable with, who understands them best, their answers often circle back to each other. This repetition is not coincidence. It is choice. Fans often describe their relationship as something that exists beyond labels. Whether they are seen as soulmates, partners, or two people deeply in love, what stands out is the authenticity of their bond. It doesn't need grand declarations. It lives in shared routines, in quiet moments, in the comfort of simply being together. When Jimin laughs with Jungkook, his laughter sounds softer. When Jungkook smiles at Jimin, his expression changes completely. These are subtle details, but they are consistent. Over time, these details have built a story that fans continue to follow with devotion. Their relationship feels lived in, familiar, and safe. It feels like two people who know each other completely and choose each other every day. And that is why the question about Jimin and Jungkook never truly fades away. Because no matter how you define their relationship, one thing is undeniable. What they share is real, deep, and unbreakable. What makes the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook so compelling is not just what fans see, but what they feel. There's a reason this bond continues to be discussed, analyzed, and cherished year after year. It's because their connection doesn't rely on moments that are staged or exaggerated. It lives in consistency. It lives in choice. It lives in how they continue to stand beside each other no matter how much the world changes around them. Jimin and Jungkook have grown from teenagers to global artists, yet the core of their relationship has remained untouched. Fame didn't create distance between them. Success didn't harden their emotions. If anything, it made their bond deeper, stronger, and more intentional. They learned how to protect each other in silence, how to communicate without words, and how to remain close even when surrounded by millions of eyes. Whether people see them as best friends, soulmates, or lovers, the truth is that their relationship carries an emotional depth that is rare. They are two people who have chosen each other again and again through pressure, fear, joy, and exhaustion. That kind of choice is powerful. That kind of connection leaves a mark. And maybe that is why fans feel so strongly about them. Because in Jimin and Jungkook, people don't just see idols, they see devotion, they see loyalty, they see a bond that feels honest in a world that often feels manufactured. So the question may never have a single official answer, and maybe it doesn't need one, because what matters is not the label, but the reality of what they share. A relationship built on trust, care, and deep emotional understanding. If you feel that connection too, if you've noticed the small moments, the quiet gestures, the unspoken language between them, then you already understand why this story continues to matter. If you're a Jikook fan, make sure you stay connected. Share this story with others who feel the same. Leave your thoughts, your interpretations, and your feelings in the comments. And don't forget to follow and subscribe for more stories that explore the bonds that make BTS so unforgettable.